You see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Nifemi Oguntoye in our major story. Department of State Security Service dismisses claims by Australian negotiator Stephen Davis that former Chief of Army Staff Azubuike Hiejerika is a sponsor of Boko Haram. Also in this program, President Goodluck Jonathan promises to leave a enduring legacy in office at a meeting with leaders of Nigerian students. The federal government U-turns fixes Monday, September 22 as new schools resumption date across the country. And outside Nigeria, Ukraine and Russian-backed rebels agree ceasefire. And now the details. The alleged co-mastermind of the Yaya bombers, Sadiq Oguche, has denied playing a role in the attack that killed at least 75 people. But other suspects insisted during a parade that the army deserter knew about the bomb attack on a bus terminal on the outskirts of Abuja. The Department of State Security also maintained none of the 6 bomb suspects is related, contrary to claims by the Australian negotiator Stephen Davis. We'll bring you details later on. Away from that story now, the Department of State Security has dismissed recent claims by Australian negotiator Stephen Davis that the former Chief of Army Staff Azubuike Hiejerika is a sponsor of Boko Haram. The service also disclosed it has twice quizzed the former governor of Borno State, Ali Modi Sharif, and has again summoned him over the latest allegation by the Australian. DSS spokesperson Marilyn Auger made this known on the sidelines of the parade of the co-mastermind of the Yaya bomb attack, Sadiq Oguche, alongside 5 other suspects.
It's absolutely uncharitable for us as Nigerians to reward somebody who laid down his life in pursuing these same people, for us to accept that he can in any way be associated as sponsoring the same sect. He, together with this service, the military together with this service, succeeded in bringing their activities in Kano, Okene, and other parts of Nigeria to a halt and pushing them to Sambisa Forest. It's the same man we want, because he's no longer in office, to say that he's the one that is sponsored. I think it's being wicked. That shouldn't be the way we should reward people who lay down their lives to provide a secure environment for us. As for the former governor, he's been invited twice by this service, and the service has also invited him again.
The rising insecurity in the country is one of the major concerns as the nation prepares for the 2015 general elections. Speaking on our flagship program, Core Digest, legal practitioner Monday Ubani says the ravaging insecurity in the country has been a creation of the political elites in their quest for power.
Or the rise and the profile of insurgency in the Northwest, it is the politicians that created these guys were armed by the politicians in order for them to get to power. And immediately they got to power, they forgot them. But meanwhile, they have not taken away the guns. A lot of sentiments, came up. And these guys were left, frustrated. Before you know it, they started recruiting. It is a political elite creation. There's no two about it. What you are seeing today, the insurgency in the Northwest, is a creation of the political elite. And if it's been sustained by the political elite and can only be eliminated also by the political elite, go and mark my word. It is when it affects them. The way Ebola is being treated is the way all of them wake up to. Because it's not affecting them. It's a common man that is being affected. The common man is being decimated. The common man is being killed every day. The moment Boko Haram takes this insurgency, this war, to the political elite, and you hear that the governor has been killed, you hear that the senator has been shot dead by the Boko Haram insurgents, I tell you that day there will be an end towards finding a solution to Boko Haram insurgency.
For his part, public affairs analyst Victor Hai explains the trading of blames to the power at the center will not stop the insurgency. He advised that Nigeria should not take security issues with kid gloves.
Government chairman on ground. Don't we have a governor on ground? What are they doing? Security starts from you in your home. You secure yourself first, and then there's a neighborhood watch, okay? And that's how it goes, And so I think that for us to begin to blame, take the blame away from where it belongs and begin to put it at a remote location, it's not, that's what has made everything become the way it is.
A flagship program runs every day between 9:30 and 11 a.m. in the morning. President Goodluck Jonathan is convinced that whoever succeeds him will not face the challenge of electricity supply in the country. He also reaffirmed his commitment to putting up structures that will make Nigeria a reference point in credible elections. The president disclosed this when he played host to a delegation of the National Association of Nigerian Students, which not only named him a grand patron, but also challenged the opposition to a national debate.
At this age, I always say that, in fact, if it is a curve that you have drawn, you are looking down. You are no longer looking up. So we must build a Nigeria for the future, as a Nigeria for you, a Nigeria for our children, and a Nigeria for our grandchildren. The challenges we pass through, our children should not. By the day one of you will sit here, that person should not be thinking about power or no power. We should be thinking about different things. So we must collectively build a Nigeria for the future. And working with you, we will get that Nigeria that we want.
Nigerians have been urged to make the right choice at the forthcoming 2015 general elections. The advice was given at the 5th Gani Fawemi Memorial Lecture in Lagos. Oluwaseyi Adegoke has the details in this report presented from our studios.
They came from all walks of life to honor the man who for so many years stood on the side of the Nigerian masses, who for so long have been denied access to improved living standards. The occasion was the Gani Fawemi Memorial Lecture held in Lagos. The theme of the talk, which is the state of the nation and 2015 general elections, aptly reflects the mood of the country at this time. At this forum, comments on the political situation of Nigeria were not in short supply. Issues ranging from health to security of the nation were discussed. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, wants politicians to desist from using the Boko Haram insurgency as a bait for their illegalities.
A part of Nigeria has been annexed by the Boko Haram sect, and they have named the place the Caliphate Republic. As of this morning, not less than 10,000 Nigerians are in Cameroon as refugees. They've left their homes, and we want to warn both the APC and the PDP, the two ruling parties in Nigeria, dominant parties, to stop politicizing the Boko Haram menace. What is required on the part of all of us is to unite and fight this dangerous phenomenon.
Guest lecturer at the occasion, Professor Akin Oyebode, says Nigeria is at a crossroad and needs a quick fix solutions.
People should stand up to be counted, take their destiny in their hands, and kick misrule out packing in our environment. We must make sure that those who come to office justify the faith and confidence that we repose in them, okay? Make them accountable and ensure that we have transparency and pro-people government.
Former Petroleum Minister Professor Tam David West says Nigerians need to evolve into a true nation quickly, otherwise the current challenges facing the country will persist.
We are great Nigerians, we are very great people. We are so optimistic. What do you expect of a country where a PhD says 16 is greater than 19? What do you expect of a country that headed by a PhD that says 16 is greater than 19? A country where the vote of the president for food is 1 billion naira a year, that he cannot pay 18,000 naira minimum wage. It's a great country, we must salvage it. But over the years, I've got to lose faith in our election and our leaders. A nation where a president will say that stealing and corruption are different. Stealing and corruption are different. If you say stealing, if you don't know what is corruption, how can you fight it?
As the 2015 general elections draw closer, many Nigerians' activities are now skewed towards politics, a clever indication that everyone is interested in who governs the country. The power of the electorate through the ballot should be taken seriously.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar set to declare presidential ambition. Find out more on these and other stories after this time out. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has declared his interest in seeking the ticket of the All Progressives Congress for the 2015 presidential election. He also named a veteran strategist, Babalola Burishade, to coordinate his campaigns. Atiku's media advisor, Garbra Shehu, disclosed these in a statement made available to journalists in Abuja. He added that the former vice president will formally declare his intent and unfold his plans on Wednesday, September 24. In announcing his ambition, Atiku says his interest in the presidency is about reforming government, securing the people, and reconciling the nation. On the appointment of Borishade as campaign coordinator, Shehu described him as a well-known political strategist who worked for the victory of the late Shehu Musa Yaradua and thereafter late Moshood Abiola on the platform of the defunct Social Democratic Party, SDP. He also worked as the strategist for President Olusegun Obasanjo in 1999 and 2003 elections. Determined to put an end to electoral violence in the country, the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations has organized a one-day public lecture to address the menace ahead of the 2015 general elections. Frank Omolape has more in this report.
From the First Republic to date, several elections conducted in Nigeria have witnessed clashes of opposing camps. Most times, these violence claim lives of innocent Nigerians, a situation which makes many dread the Nigerian political environment. To seriously address this issue, the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations organized a one-day seminar aimed at finding lasting solutions to the challenges of Nigeria's elections. The public lectures had in attendance the Nigerian Army, traditional rulers, Independent Electoral Commission officials, various interest groups, among others. The theme of this public lecture, which is curbing electoral violence in Nigeria, the public relations dynamics. Speaking at the forum, INEC Chairman Atahiru Jega, represented by the Lagos Residency Electoral Commissioner Adekunle Ogumola, says INEC is working towards a free and violence-free process in the coming 2015 elections.
The imperfections associated with the 2011 elections are well noted by INEC, and since then we've been trying to find a way of perfecting our acts so that come 2015 we'll have a successful outing. So we're now soliciting the support of NIPR to assist us in disseminating appropriate information.
According to NIPR, is targeted at all, including the general public, so as to ensure a violent-free electoral process at all times.
The necessary party to be involved in this is the INEC and the security operatives. And I can see the presentation of Professor Atahiru Jega stating the importance of NIPR in trying to promote advocacy, trying to entrench values that are necessary for a free, fair, and credible election in Nigeria.
While dismissing alleged partisanship on the part of the royal fathers in the electioneering process, Oba Adekunle Abolari, the Orogun Ile-Ila, stressed that traditional rulers cannot be ignored in the electioneering process in the country.
Very many of us take traditional rulers for granted. I would do too before I became a king. But in terms of purposeful leadership and rule, you should commend them as fathers of all. Because before the election and after the election, you have a great role to play.
We support policy-making issues in Nigeria, and we go out there to creating a beautiful environment for people to operate. So the NIPR has never been partisan.
Well, so many issues have been discussed here at the forum today, but it is expected that of every participant at the forum today, not only to take something home, but also to help further deepen the level of awareness with a joint effort in curbing the electoral violence at all levels. Frank Omalape, CoreTV News, Lagos.
It's been close to a month since his re-election, but the people of Osun State are still basking in the euphoria of the victory of Governor Rauf Aregbesola at the August 9 governorship poll. The celebration this time was dedicated to the youth of the state. Rashid witnessed the celebration and filed in this report.
The August 9 Osun State governorship election has come and gone. The election has been won and lost, but its impact is still being felt by these people who gathered at Ilesha to celebrate the man most of them fondly describe as the symbol of democracy in Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola. Here is a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Lawrence Ayeni, who hails from Ilesha in Osun State, the hometown of Aregbesola.
Celebrating the victory of Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola because the man has done wonder in Osun State. I, as a person, I supported him. And I thank God that he won the election. That is why, although before the election, we've organized certain competition. We call it Miss Ijesha 2014. But because of the election, we have to make sure that we postpone everything until after the election.
Party leaders agree that Aregbesola is worthy of celebration considering his first-time achievements in office.
The Ogbeni #1 of the state of Osun is really worth celebrating. As he's been doing, that people have loved him so much, people have confidence in him, that he is doing what's supposed to be done to elevate the state to a very enviable position. I just want to admonish him to continue and even do better.
Aregbesola is a man of ideas. He's a man of innovation. He's a man of integrity. So just to thank and allow people to go home will not be enough. They have to entertain, relax, and mix with people.
The event also presented an opportunity for budding entertainers to showcase their talents.
This is the first time we'll be seeing such kind of things in Malaysia, because even though we have a lot of artists in Malaysia that they can sing, they can dance, they can comedian a lot, but in Malaysia people, we don't even used to encourage our youth empowerment.
Empowerment is from different parts. So it's not necessary that when you go to school, you finish from any school, then you say you are seeking for office work. And you can make it through your talents. And that is what you are seeing today.
Much is, however, expected from the Osun State government in the area of youth empowerment. Rashid, CoreTV News, Elisha.
The federal government has fixed Monday, September 22, 2014 as new schools resumption date. Education Minister Ibrahim Shekarau disclosed this at the end of a meeting with State Commissioners of Education in Abuja. The decision was taken after a review of ongoing efforts to stem the spread of Ebola virus disease in the country.
We decided to call this emergency meeting to consult with all the state's Ministry of Education to decide the next line of action to recall our students back to school. Based on all of these, after long deliberations and taking into consideration the welfare, the well-being of the students, and taking into consideration as well the time required to put in place checks and balances in line with the preventive measures in view of the wide spread of our schools in nook and corners of the Federation, we have now agreed that schools, primary and secondary schools, public and private, will reopen and begin formal classes on Monday, the 22nd of September, 2014.
You're on to CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take another break and return with business news. Don't go away.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Hello there and welcome to Business News with Sabina Izoku.
Borno State will soon be reconnected to the national power grid, the federal government says. It said the proposed reconnection stemmed from an agreement reached between military and the Federal Ministry of Power on Security for engineers who will repair the vandalized power lines in the troubled state. The technical assistant to the Minister of Power for State for Power, Umar Mustafa, said the military and the transmission company of Nigeria had reached a final stage on the reconnection of Borno State to the national grid. He noted that insurgents had vandalized the 132 kilovolts power line from the Damboa to Maiduguri, cutting power supply to the state. According to Mustafa, within the ministry, Wakil had issued written and verbal directives that the reconnection be done now that the security situation had improved in the affected areas. On the exact time of the reconnection, the committee chairman said he would not want to disclose the details for operational and security reasons. The federal government has unveiled new cement packaging compliance regulations that will curtail incidents of collapsed buildings. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Olusegun Aganga, said this at the launch of mandatory certification of Sancrete blocks. Aganga also unveiled new cement bags certified by regulatory agencies, which according to him must have batch numbers for traceability and have expiring dates. He assured consumers' confidence will be boosted following these regulations. In addition to that, the Director General of Standard Organization of Nigeria, Joseph Odumodu, noted the recent tests conducted on cement blocks in Nigeria, especially the load-bearing ones, only 5% of the blocks met the specification of the standard NIS 587 of 2007. Odumodu says there will be collaborations with Block Molders Association, Concrete Molders, Building Collapse Prevention Guild, and stakeholders as self-regulatory organization as a means of a way to clean up the system. The Central Bank of Nigeria has increased the surveillance to the Bureau de Change operators following reported cases of foreign exchange abuses. The development followed activities of the Bureau de Change, which failed the CBN test recapitalization from 10 million to 35 million naira. The CBN says it is committed to bringing sanity into the forex market. It will deploy the approach of utilizing the recapitalized Bureau de Change as agents of international money transfer to ensure gradual elimination of the unrecapitalized ones. However, the illegal activities of the Bureau de Change operators has continued, though some analysts say it will be better for the CBN to come out with policies that will prevent banks and the Bureau de Change from selling forex to the unrecapitalized Bureau de Change. There are three sources of dollar access by the Bureau de Change, which include the Apis Bank, deposit money banks, and individuals. Furthermore, the CBN has stopped selling dollars to the unrecapitalized Bureau de Change. And on the foreign scene, the U.S. imported 878,000 barrels of Saudi crude a day in the first 4 weeks of August, the least since 2009, with the Middle Eastern oil giant producer now looking more towards Asia. After years of keeping the price of crude sold to the U.S. low enough to maintain market share, Saudi Arabia is losing ground as the Shale boom leaves U.S. refineries with ample supplies of inexpensive domestic oil. The U.S. Gulf Coast, including a 600,000 barrel a day port in Arthur, Texas, the largest in the U.S. refineries, which have combined capacity of 1.07 million barrels a day, imported 331,000 barrels. Saudi Arabia Oil Company shares ownership with Royal Dutch Shell plc of 3 refineries on the day from Saudi Arabia in June. Until recent months, Saudi maintained a steady flow to the U.S. around 1.3 million barrels a day, even as total U.S. imports fell by 34% from the peak in June 2005. The price of West Texas Intermediate crude averaged $96 a barrel in August, compared with $106.5 of the same month the year before. It settled at $94 in New York today. Shipments to the U.S. have fallen even as Saudi exports to the rest of the world have held steady. The U.S. imports Saudi Arabia fell by 562,000 barrels a day from April to June. More than 506,000 barrels a day declined the total Saudi exports According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration and Joint Oil Data Initiative, a database supervised by Riyadh-based International Energy Forum. Saudi sales to Asia will become more important moving forward as demand for liquid fuels in the region is expected to grow 44% through the year 2035, while North American demand shrinks according to the BP plc. In September, China surpassed the U.S. as the world's largest importer of crude oil and refined products. On the foreign market, the Naira gained 30 kobo against the dollar as it closed at 162 Naira 10 kobo per dollar compared to 162 Naira 40 kobo the previous day. The CBN on Wednesday offered a total of $300 million but sold a total of $298.9 million to 22 deposit money banks in the country at the official foreign exchange rate of 155 Naira 73 kobo per dollar as its bi-weekly retail Dutch auction system. And on the stock market report, equity transaction on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all shares index appreciated by 0.35% to close at 41,162.62 basis points. Market capitalization increased and closed at 13.59 trillion naira. In all, a total of 306.7 million naira share valued at 2.7 billion naira were exchanged in 4,407 deals. Report shows the WACO plc topped the gainers chart, followed by NNFM, ETI, Presco, and Guaranty Trust Bank plc. On the other hand, Nestle plc topped the losers chart, followed by Total, Flour Mill, 40 Oil, and International Breweries. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. On business news, Nifemi will be back with the rest of the story. Please stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as weak, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Our style, that's what he delivered. Usain Bolt storming through, Puyol with a flying lead.
Bo taking them out in the lead
On Sport Tonight, troubled faction, the president of Nigeria Football Federation, Aminu Megari, has announced that elections into the executive committee of the NFF will hold before September 25 after an extraordinary congress on September 18. He has also appealed for calm and assured Nigerians that normalcy will soon return to the nation's football administration and stave off the hanging threat of suspension by FIFA. He dismissed insinuations of crisis in the nation's football administration, pointing out that only 5 persons have been trying to cause confusion within the ranks. FIFA had, in a letter of September 30 and signed by the Secretary-General Jerome Vag, directed Chris Giwa and others purporting to have been elected to the NFF board to vacate the offices by 7 a.m. Nigerian time on Monday, September 8, or the country will be automatically suspended from all organized football activities. Meanwhile, the federal government-backed president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Chris Giwa, says he has no plan to vacate office. Speaking to journalists before heading for Calabar, Giwa says he insists that there is no crisis in Nigeria football. He added that the World Football Governing Body would not suspend the country.
That is not bias. Yes, we have received a letter from FIFA, but I can assure you very, very well that Nigeria will not be suspended.
Are you going to comply, sir?
Does it mean you comply with the letter? I think the concern of Nigeria is for Nigeria not to be suspended. I assure you very well that Nigeria will not be suspended.
So the match in Calabar on Saturday, who takes charge? You or the other part?
Which kind of question will be this one?
It's a journalist question.
Well, I'm surprised with your question. You are seeing somebody in office and you are saying who takes charge. By the grace of God, I'm in charge by the grace of God, to the glory of God. But I want to say there is no crisis in the football house. Let us not allow what is happening to deceive us as if there is division. I am a member of the football family. Megari is a member of the football family. And I'm sure the both of us will not want anything that will destroy the game.
A FIFA report on how the 2018 and 2022 World Cups were awarded to Russia and Qatar have been presented to the Ethics Committee of World Football's governing body. FIFA announced on Friday that the 350-page report compiled by the committee's investigatory chamber chairman Michael Garcia and his deputy Cornel Babley was now in the hands of the adjudicatory chamber. The year-long investigation involved interviewing more than 75 witnesses and compiling a dossier that includes more than 200,000 pages in audio interviews. No details of those cited in the report was disclosed, nor any indication when the details might be made public. The main controversy revolves around Qatar and how the oil-rich emirate was awarded the 2022 competition, which was initially to be played in the summer when temperatures reached the upper 40 Celsius. It also considered claims by international labor organizations that working conditions for migrant workers employed in the construction of the stadia were less than satisfactory. Spanish giants Real Madrid have announced a record €603.9 million income for the 2013-2014 season, thanks in large part to winning the Champions League for a 10th time in May. Now, Madrid's total revenue was up 10.9% on last season, with the net profit slightly up from €36.9 million last year to €38.5 million. Real also slashed their net debt at 21% to €71.5 million. However, despite strengthening their position as the richest club in world football, Real's board has come under fire for allowing key midfielders Angel Di Maria and Xabi Alonso to leave in the final week of the transfer window last month for a combined €85 million. Those departures came after the club made a combined €100 million splurge on World Cup stars James Rodriguez, Toni Kroos and Keylor Navas. In tennis tonight, Roger Federer received 2 match points as he beat Guy Monfils to keep alive his hopes of an 18th Grand Slam title at the US Open. The Swiss won 4-6, 3-6, 6-4, 7-5, 6-2 in a dramatic New York night session to reach the semifinals. Federer 33 goes on to face Croatia's Marin Cilic in the last four on Saturday. Matthews looked to be heading for only his second ever Grand Slam semi-final, and Matthews had two chances to seal the biggest victory of his career in the fourth set, but saw a backhand float agonizingly long on the first before Federer cracked a brilliant forehand on the second. Having managed to regain his grip on the match after dropping the third set, a tiring Matthews gifted Federer two double faults in a row to hand over the following game, and his challenge faded fast. The flamboyant Frenchman cut back on his usual dramatics and looked focused for match after match. You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. I'll be back with more stories after this break. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. Russian-backed separatists in Ukraine say they have agreed with Ukrainian officials on a ceasefire starting from Friday, September 5, at a series of peace talks in Minsk, the Belarusian capital. Of Ukraine, Donetsk People's Republic and Lugansk People's Republic signed a ceasefire protocol which will take effect from 6 p.m. on Friday. Earlier in the day, the information went viral on the Twitter account of the so-called Donetsk People's Republic. Although the account was without provision of further details as to what transpired in the meeting, it was however clear that the separatists have embraced the proposed peace deal. However, leader of the self-proclaimed Lugansk People's Republic, Igor Plotnitsky, stressed that although the group is also ready for a bilateral ceasefire, it doesn't mean that the ceasefire is a change of its course for secession. NATO leaders have strongly expressed their reservations for the peace deal proposed by the Russian leader Vladimir Putin, whom they described as an insincere truce negotiator. British Prime Minister David Cameron says Britain will contribute 3,500 troops to a NATO Rapid Response Force designed to meet new threats highlighted by the Ukraine crisis and Islamic militant gains in Syria and Iraq. The spearhead would be part of a reformed NATO response force headquartered in Poland with pre-positioned equipment and exercising frequently to ensure its readiness. The two-day NATO summit has been viewed as the most important since the end of the Cold War.
We must reassure our Eastern European members that we will always uphold our Article 5 commitments to collective self-defense. So we must be able to act more swiftly. I hope that today we can agree a multinational spearhead force deployable anywhere in the world in just 2 to 5 days. This would be part of a reformed NATO response force with headquarters in Poland, forward units in the Eastern Allies, and pre-positioned equipment and infrastructure to allow more exercises and, if necessary, rapid reinforcement. If we can agree this, the United Kingdom will contribute 3,500 personnel to this multinational force. Second, as the Secretary-General has said, we must increase our capacity. I hope today we can reaffirm our public commitment to spend 2% of our GDP on defence and 20% of that money on equipment.
And that's been the show tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Nifemi Oguntoye, wishing you a peaceful night rest. Thanks for being there.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose. especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it, don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.